Hi and welcome back to my playthrough of League of Dungeoneers. Our group just went through their first adventure, the first blood one. I think we were quite successful, not so much in finding loot. I think we only got out with 20 gold coins out of this. Our, let's say, initial roll on where we are starting this whole campaign or set us here in Rochdale. The first thing that you do when you entering a settlement is to see if we are encountering an event, and each of the cities or towns or settlements does have their own value. So we are rolling a 12-sided die, and on an 11 or 12 we are basically seeing an event. And I happen to have found my cool metal dice here, the leafy one. So let's see what we get out of this. No, that's only a 6, which means we are not seeing any kind of settlement events. There are not an awful lot of those. They're basically 12, and I'm not sure if this is changing with the expansion, but I believe this is really something where you can easily come up with your own events. But yeah, right now we are playing this game pretty much vanilla, and in Rochdale, unfortunately, there is not an awful lot to do. It's a small settlement, it seems, even though it doesn't seem so small compared to Silver City, which I believe is the capital here. But yeah, there's really not an awful lot to do. I think we can basically go to a general store, buying us some equipment. I was really hoping on getting some piece of armor for Silvara, actually, our elf. She doesn't have anything, but yeah, we are out of luck here. We can go to the general store, basically buying us some stuff there. In total, we now have 95 gold coins, and unlike Gloomhaven, you are allowed to pool up your stuff. So we are still acting as a party here, not as individual. Even though I really do like the touch that, or the change, or the individualism that's being introduced in games like Gloomhaven, where everyone is more or less still on their own, basically. So, Rochdale is a small village predominantly populated by farmers. Apart from farming, it is also famous as the unofficial center of alchemy in the kingdom. So that is nice, but we don't have an alchemist with us. I believe I said that Talindra was kind of interested in all this stuff, but we don't really have any money to spare. The good news is that we only have to spend 20 coins per party per night. There are others that cost us, I think, up to 50 even, or 35 or so. We have the Magic Brewery, we can go to the sick ward, none of our heroes is sick. We have the Herbalist, where we could buy some ingredients, but yeah, we do have the general store where we could buy some equipment, but I don't really know if we really need that yet. We could go for some initial rations, for example. Maybe that's something to consider, but it really seems we are not going to spend an awful lot of time in this small settlement here, which maybe is not that big of a deal in the end. So in theory, we can buy all this stuff here: alchemy, animals, consumables, miscellaneous items, even tools. I believe this all counts as general equipment. This is a little bit of a bummer that you have this little booklet here, and sorry that I'm complaining so much today, this quick reference compendium, which does have a lot of stuff that's also part of the book, but then the book again explains you a little bit more. So like Encumbrance X, for example, this is explained only in one sentence over in this main book here, which you have to go through. They could have easily added this little rule here into this quick reference guide to say, hey, this is how you read, because everything else is being pretty much outlined here on these things. I think, again, this game could be a 10 for me, 10 out of 10, but with the way the rulebook is laid out and with some of the inconsistency and so on, I don't know. I really don't know yet. So the question really is, do we want to buy stuff? And then if we decide so, we still have to roll on the availability here with a normal D6, and we have to roll, I believe, equal to or lower than the value that is printed here. I really don't know. I mean, we could go for maybe another torch. This could be something, because I believe right now we only have one torch with Finnick, I believe, and having torches is, I think, not a bad thing. So I am really considering to buy at least one more torch, which means we will have to spend this one day and the night in an inn, but that is something I planned anyway, because in an inn you can pretty much heal, but we have not taken any damage. On top of this, we regain all our mana points, our luck and our energy. We have spent the luck for Finnick, which I believe I blew that. I used his luck even though it was a successful hit actually, but yeah, I left a comment during the last episode here. So yeah, yeah, let's see. Maybe we will do roll for the light sources here for a torch. So it's very, very likely that we will have one. I will keep rolling these nice metal dice here. And again, we need to roll low in this case, I believe. And that's a 5. A 5 is pretty much okay, which means, and we can only buy one torch. If we want to buy a second torch, we will have to roll again, right? That's the idea. But I believe with 2 torches, we should be okay. So I will make the adjustments. We spent 15 coins here. We could barter, actually. Maybe that's a thing. Should we barter? Not for 15 coins. No, we are not doing that. That's fine. We are fresh. We are shy. Apart from that, I will go through this list off camera now because it's really not fun to watch otherwise. One thing I did find though is the fishing gear here. A good fishing rod always makes life better. With this, a hero's foraging skill increases by 5. And I'm tempted to give this to our ranger, our elf. We have to roll for that. And here I may want to consider really going for the barter roll because I believe, yeah, exactly. I almost forgot that Finnick has the, what was it? The Evaluate special skill. His successful barter roll plus 15 instead of plus 10 better prices. And yeah, it's not an awful lot, so it's still, I mean, even the normal roll would I think, yeah, save us. What was it? Yeah, it's 4 coins, which is not nothing. And we still have enough then to, yeah, I think, let's try that. So again, we have to roll a d6 and a 2. Yes, 1 fishing gear is available, and that's all we need. It's pretty heavy. An encumbrance of 3 is not nothing, but I think Silvara should be fine using that. So yeah, awesome. Let's grab that. Oh, let's do the barter roll. And again, this roll then counts basically for both purchases. We sent out Finnick, of course, to buy this stuff. It doesn't really matter. No one else is doing things. So every hero could do other stuff. They could sell and buy things for other heroes and all these kind of stuff. So what was it? The barter was 43. And yeah, that's 97. That's pretty much a whiff. So yeah, forget about that. But I'm happy to whiff now, actually. But I believe this pretty much brings us to our maximum, right? No, we have 15 for the torch. 50 for the fishing gear, no, 40 for the fishing gear, that's 55, and we need 20. No, we are still okay. Cool. So let me put it in. So when we actually do travel around the map, we will get a +5 on our foraging roll, which ultimately saves us potentially some rations. Cool. Okay, that's all that we want to do in Rochdale, I suppose. Nothing else to do. We will spend another 20 coins now for spending the night in the inn. So Finnick gets his luck back and energy. I think we haven't spent any energy, but Talindra will get all her mana points back, which is nice. And I think I did too. Slight miscalculation there. I think overall she has 88 or so, or 87 mana points instead of the 70 something I put in there, but didn't really affect the gameplay as much as well. And I think from here we are now diving into our very first, let's call it real dungeon crawl, or our very first campaign, which is the Dead Rising. You may have seen that once or twice on YouTube. Everyone is playing that, but I'm learning the game, so yeah, bear with me here. The dead never rest easy in the kingdom, but lately the reports of stirring bodies have been alarmingly high. The reason why some dead refuse to stay dead is a mystery. Perhaps it is due to some unfinished business that denies the person its eternal rest, or possibly the soil of the grave is tainted by the void. However, as this repeatedly occurs, it seems likely there is a definite reason behind the stirring. Maybe the king's decision to allow expeditions south once again has triggered the undead curse, or perhaps there is something else behind this. This campaign starts wherever the heroes are. We are in Rochdale, which is one of the reasons why it didn't really matter where we started, but the second quest must be started in Silver City, and luckily we are not too far away. But first of all, we have to go through this very first quest, which is called Spring Cleaning. You have been tasked by the local town elder to clear out the basement of the town hall. This basement has been closed off for several years, but a recent invasion of large rats in the village has led the local rat catcher to think that their nest is in this building. However, the size of the rats is somewhat on the larger side, and he has refused to enter the basement, exclaiming, "This ain't normal with them bastards growing that size, cavalry, I tell ya!" Large-sized rats or not, this should be an easy task for your hardy heroes. The town elder says that there is nothing of value down there, but that you are free to take anything you find. Now, we do have some quest description, basically. We have a starting threat level, a minimum threat level, a maximum threat level, that a wandering monster will appear when when we are reaching 12 on the threat level here for this quest only, we may basically rest for free, so we don't need any food rations. A lesson to learn. We get to know how many tiles to set up the dungeon. That is something I already did. So the quest room is somewhere below the final 5 cards, I believe. Yeah, that's what it is. We're gaining a reward of 100 coins per hero, which is quite a lot. Which encounters to encounter is over here. What the objective room then actually is, this one here. I will not spoil that, so you can of course try to pause the video here, but sooner or later we will find out. But we will not get there during this video, relatively sure. For the threat level, I decided to use these dials that come with Creel Manor, so thanks so much to Tristan for providing me this. They will definitely serve me well. There is also Johann the Gardener to find. I will come to that when we get there. So yeah, let me set up the first actual dungeon crawl. So here we are. I may have to move things around because of table real estate reasons, and I did watch a video and I'm terribly sorry that I forgot to remember your name. So if you happen to watch this, let me know and I will happily link your channel in there. But what he did was to put these doors between those tiles, and I think that's a genius idea because they're usually always in the way on these tiles. It's already pretty crowded on these dungeon tiles, and I think this really works well. Let me know what you think, but I will definitely steal that idea. Nicely done. So here we have Finnick, we have Cedric's and all the others in the back. I want to have Finnick up front because he can open doors much better. And of course we want to have our tank up front here. We can choose the order of things while we are out here on this starting tile. This will, I believe, always be our starting tile. We are not rolling the scenario die in any shape or form. Only when we, I think, either entering or opening this door or even are on this first tile. I have to actually check that when this clock basically starts to tick. Each of our heroes will now get 2 action points. In this case, this first door will always be open. There could be other quests later on which might be different, but typically that's a generic rule. So this door is open. We know we don't have to roll for a trap or if it's locked or not. And I think I really do want to start with Finnick here just because. And yeah, let's use his very first action point to open this door, which means we will exchange this miniature with that miniature here. And I think, do we want to do this like this? Should we have the door open? I mean, it's an emergency exit, right? So the door should open outside, yeah. And the next thing that we have to do is, I think we have to immediately increase the threat level by 1 for every door we are opening. And I do assume this also counts for the very first door of the game, of the quest in this case. And then we have to see what we are encountering. So we are drawing our very first card here. And that's a standard corridor, which says the walls in this corridor are engraved with large skulls. Oh, they give an eerie feeling of vigilance as if they are watching every step the adventurers take. Increase the threat level by 1. You must be joking. So we are already on threat level 4 and haven't seen anything. So I will have to find that tile, this one here. This card also tells me how many doors there are, and this does include the door we went through. There could be dead-end situations in this game, but there are also rules around that. And in theory, we get to choose where to place this door. We cannot block off any, let's say, features of this corridor or the room. In this case, it doesn't matter. I want to play it thematically, so basically making it a little bit harder on myself. So I will put this door in here. And so that is that. And now we do have to actually roll if we are encountering something. And I believe on a roll 1 to 30. So that's one of the occasions where you want to roll high actually. So let's bring out this one. And I think it's only 1 to 30 in a corridor, but 1 to 50 in a room. So it's getting more likely the more stuff is happening. And are you kidding me? Wow, the first roll of this game that really does matter actually. We already encountered something, which I believe means the turn immediately ends. So we are starting a new turn, which I believe is different to Brimstone, where you still go through the normal gist of the turn, which is one of the reasons why you want to make sure everyone is ready when you're opening a door, because you don't want to get surprised by everyone here. But yeah, we will have to find out what we are encountering here. Wow. Again, we do have our quest-specific encounter table. We are rolling another D100 in this case, and that's a 26, which in this case means, 1D4 giant rats. Not sure if I like this or not, but we will face giant rats later on anyway, so maybe a good way to practice things. I do have one of these metal dice for a D4. Let's roll it, and it's only quote-unquote a 2. I really hope you can see this dice here. So 2 giant rats. I really hope those should be beatable, right? Okay, here they are. They have a combat rating of 45. They have a -5 to hit as well. 1d6 damage, 6 movement, 40 dexterity and some resolve, something we have to check out. Scurry, yes, they can move through models and zone of control for free, but of course they cannot stop in a square with another one. They have the perfect hearing. Okay, add 1 enemy initiative token. I think we have that too. And now I'm not sure if it negates itself, or if we're simply adding 1 for each, because again, Silvara has the 2. And the Pyrophobia, see special rules, bestiary on page 11. They only have 6 life points each and 40 experience points. And yeah, we can only get some parts potentially. Okay, we now have to roll where they come out, and because they are melee characters, they will be brought out randomly, and there is actually a good overview in this compendium, randomizing squares, which will show these odds to you. This is something where this game then shines, where really a lot of work went into this, but they can't appear on this very first next to our door. So black die is basically 1 to 3, 4 to 6, and then 1 to 6 basically on the red die here. So the first rat will go on 5-5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is basically this one here. Second rat is okay, 1, 2, 3, and also on 5. Okay, so they are both here waiting for us. Because we haven't entered the first door yet, I believe we don't even have to roll the scenario die, which might be beneficial in this case. But yeah, our threat level is already at a 4, so terrible stuff can actually happen. And if a wandering monster will now appear right here, we have to fight it, and this could be terrible. Really, really terrible actually. So I have to check the Pyrophobia actually, because Finnick does carry a torch, and indeed this is quite helpful actually. Cool. This creature must pass a resolve test to attack a hero carrying a torch, which is Finnick in this case only. If the test fails, the attack fails and the point is spent. Cool. Creatures with a Bellow special rule that fails the test. Okay, we don't have Bellow. Cool stuff. Okay, I take that. Okay, let's get started. I have prepared the initiative back, and I did check if we both parties basically have the perfect hearing, it cancels each other out. So we have 4 white tokens and 2 black tokens in here. Let's start the first round of combat. Again, I don't think we have to roll for the scenario die, because we still haven't entered the very first door. And yeah, it's basically us. Cool. And I do think we want to start with Cedric, and maybe we really want to charge in. I really want to get it done, because for that we get a +10. It costs us basically both of our action points, but that is fine. And I checked, and I think I forgot something during my very first scenario. He does have the Mighty Blow, +1 damage with melee weapon. And he has a Tunnel Fighter talent, which gives him a +10 fight in corridor. So this is extremely huge, which means he gets a +20 on this charge attack. Basically this one here minus the 5 on this one, so it's a 75 to hit, and we can charge in a straight line, and I think we can charge through a door. I think so, at least. Why not? So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are moving the full distance here, which is totally fine. So again, a 75 and the D8 +2 hit points to this rat here, right? Whoa, a 1, a mighty 1, which means I believe we can now. This is so insane. So what we can do now is, I believe, is to re-roll that die here, because this was, what was it called actually? I think it was Bloodlust, right? I think it's a Bloodlust ability. Oh, that's so cool actually. Yes, indeed, we get to reroll that, and because we rolled so extremely well actually, we also can increase that stat by 1. It's so amazing. Okay, 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. This red is out of here already. Okay, that was pretty much an amazing start. They don't have any shields whatsoever, right? No. Wow, that was massive, massive, I tell you. And again, because we rolled that, we get a +1 on our combat strength right away, actually. But I think we can only do that for each skill, I believe, once between settlement phases. So even if we do that again, but yeah, I will certainly take the +1. I will mark it as a +1 on his sheet here so that I don't forget. And once we are through this dungeon, yeah, I guess we will then, I will naturally add it. Cool start. So yeah, that was amazing. Simply amazing. Let's draw the next token here. And it's us. Okay, this is now tempting actually. And I'm considering, I mean, we could move with Finnick. We could basically do the same thing again. We do not kill it though. I'm relatively certain about that. But then we have Finnick next to her. And before, I think this makes sense. We will not do, or should we do a charge attack? I think we can, right? It doesn't matter because, yeah, of course, it absolutely makes sense because we only gain more. So he's also charging into the next red. His combat rating is actually higher. And did I do that deliberately? I think, not sure how this happened actually. I mean, he has a good, I mean, he has a high dexterity. No, that's the case. It's a high dexterity here. But he doesn't get the +10. He's not a tunnel fighter. So he's only, quote unquote, rolling a 70, I believe. In this case, 75 -5 of the red here. Yes, absolutely. So let's roll those dice and no, oh, a 96. Should we use our luck right now? Do we really want to start with that bad of a roll? The 96 doesn't do anything to us. The only bad is really a natural 100, which is then a fumble. But I don't want, no, we can't start like this. No, absolutely not. So I will spend his one and only luck point to re-roll that die. We will keep the 5 here for sure. And 43 is much better. So this rat is taking 5 points worth of damage. Again, this is not a terrible start. The one problem I see, it's actually a big problem. We can't shoot straight through our hero here. That is pretty challenging actually. But yeah, nothing I can change. So we will draw our next token, and this is actually the red. The only other one doesn't really matter because again, one red is already taken out. Nice job, Cedric. So let's see what it does, and I'm really happy we are not fighting this particular beast actually. If adjacent to hero, make room for more enemies to attack. There are no more enemies. Okay, we can move over that. If adjacent to hero, attack according to the table. Power attack, standard attack, special talent. I think they don't have a special talent. And within M spaces of a hero, perform a charge attack. Okay, no, we don't do that actually. This monster is now adjacent to basically both heroes here. So I think in this case we have to randomize things, right? So we will roll the D10 in conjunction with a whatever D6. I don't know, doesn't really matter too much. 1 to 3 if Cedric, 4 to 6 is Finnick. Well, that's the first action point, and 1 to 3 is unfortunately Cedric's, and it's a 10, which I believe in this case NA uses standard attack. So you can't barely see that. It's a standard attack in this case because there are no special talents here. Okay, let's see. Unfortunately, it is Cedric, but the red will take 2 hits actually. That's the one bummer here actually. Let's see how well we do. So we have a 45 actually. We could still dodge. We can do that once per battle, right? So I think, yeah, let's see how they do. Okay, 71. No, that is not good enough. And I forgot I should have also rolled the hit location die and the damage die. But in this case, they totally whiffed. Nicely done. For the second action, they will do the same thing. We will roll the die. And in this case, it's also Cedric, and they are doing a power attack. No, they can't do a power attack because they already have taken, although they will go for another standard attack against Cedric. This time I will do it correctly. So basically the location die and the hit die, which is a D6. Yes, indeed. 65 is not good enough. So again, they whiff. Okay, nice. We absolutely take that. And once you are in the game and start dealing with those things and stop worrying about rules and whatnot, it's so enjoyable. I really enjoy the heck out of this game. So that is that. We will have to draw our next token. It doesn't matter too much, actually. I'm not even sure what I should be doing now, actually. So it's basically us. We could do something like search the room or so, maybe, because again, I don't really want to shoot through these guys, right? Not even sure if I can trace line of sight between those two heroes here. I have to check that. But I think it doesn't matter too much. So let's go with Silvara 1, 2, 3, 4 with her first action. So yeah, indeed, there is a rule where you can search, but it takes the entirety of your turn. And I'm not even sure if you can do that during combat. I say no, you can definitely search through stuff that's in the room, like there would be a chest or whatever, a table or so, or whatever. Then yes, you would be allowed to do that. But in this case, I think you can't do that. So I will more or less forfeit her second action. So let's move Sylvandra in. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be the next token. The next black token doesn't matter. And that's basically the end of the first combat turn done. So we will return all those tokens, but this one to the back here accordingly. 1 red is gone. Nice job, Cedric. And I again forgot the +1 on his, yeah, I think crushing blow, whatever it is. So now as we have passed through this threshold here, we do have to roll the scenario die. And on a 9 or 10, something will happen. So this is an 8, so we are fine here. And then, yeah, we are drawing our next token out of the bag. So let's see, it's us. And yeah, I think in this case, let's make things easier. We could simply go for a power attack with him, actually. I think let's do that. Yeah, let's start with him, do a power attack, which is a +20 plus the 10 of his, what was it, corridor, tunnel fighter ability. We're also rolling the D8 here. So let's see, 53, that's easily hit 6 points. So this red is gone. And I think from here on now, the turn doesn't end actually. So it's still us. So we have used our one and only a 1 action point here for him, which means we can now actually, we are going with a streamlined mode for search, and we will record our experience points, which is 40 per character. And I think we are leveling up at 2000 or so. I think we're all at 400 right now, but it's 80 more points. We are getting there. Before we move on, we still get to potentially harvest our resources here. So I think Talindra will now try to pass an alchemy test, and then she can collect, I think, some parts from those reds, up to 3 when she passes. So we are rolling a 34. No, that's most certainly a miss. So we basically get rid of those suckers. They only provided us with some experience points. And yeah, ultimately we lost 1 luck point for Phoenix. So we may have to rest sooner or later. Okay, we still have an action with Cedric. So let's move him up to this door here. Let's do things a little bit out of order now. I think we are taking the character with the highest perception wants to search the room. So let me see. And it's either Silvara or Finnick with a 53. Doesn't she get a plus something for her perception? Yeah, her night vision gives her +10 perception. I think I already did calculate that in. Yeah, I did calculate that in already. So she has a 53. And I think she's searching together with Talindra, which gives her +10. I want to move Finnick up, I believe. We want to see if we can open that door here, actually. So yeah, wow, we're getting there. So we are rolling, hoping for a 63 or less, actually, to find something. And yes, it's a 33. We have found something, though. Yes, there's another table we can roll against, which is this one down here. Also bad stuff can happen, actually. So I think we want to roll low here in this case. And ooh, 14 is amazing. A secret door. +10 to the roll. No, it's 24. Okay, unfortunate, but it's a fine treasure. We take that for sure. We have a giant stack just for the fine treasures here. I will do a cut. I have shuffled this pretty well actually, so let's see what we find. This is so cool. Unfortunately, Finnick didn't search because he would have been able to draw 2 cards and choose one. Okay, we have found a religious relic. I think we also have to place where was it? A search token on this corridor so no one else can search here. And yeah, it's another table we can roll against. How cool is that? I really love this actually. It's so fun. It's so fun. So we have to roll. Oh, wow, it's worth 350 coins. Wow, going in here was so cool actually. Nice. Okay, that's a 1. It's a necklace with a holy symbol of one of the gods, of Charis's gods. Maybe this will help you on your quest. +1 energies for prayers only. Okay, we don't have one of those fellas with us actually, but we can still sell it for 350. That is so cool. I think we will give it to Talindra. It definitely does make more sense to her, but I guess we are going, oh, what we could have found here. +5 combat strength. Are you kidding me? So nice. But yeah, I will certainly take that. We're not sure how this got here, but again, we will take it. So these 2 ladies have taken their tidy of the turn. We still have Finnick. He will take 1 action to move up here, and then I guess we are trying to open that door. And there is a nice graphical representation of that workflow, which I really want to show you here. So we are rolling a 1d6 and a d10 here accordingly. Where do we have a d10? Let's go for this one here. We roll them together and we will see a trap on a 6 on the d6, and I think on a 1 to 6 this door is actually not locked. So let's see what it does. Let's put the dice tower over here. And I guess we are actually fine. So it's not trapped. We are following this d10 result. It's a 1 to 6. It's not locked. We were still raising the threat because we have tried to open that door. Really, really cool. So we are already at 5. And then I guess just door. It's a door, place tile, roll for encounter and whatsoever. And then we will do stuff. Cool. These flow charts really work very, very well. So we have opened the door. Again, let's assume we are dealing in that direction with this door here. And then we have to draw our next exploration card. And that's another corridor, which I think works pretty well for Cedric. He loves to fight in corridors. And here we get to choose where to place the second door. But let me try to find that thing here and then we do some reading. So here we are. And because of table real estate reasons, I decided to place the second door in here. It's really weird actually that there is only this one door here in this crossroad kind of corridor, and it seems there's nothing particular here. An empty crossway with a foul smell. It's hard to tell from what passageway the smell is coming from. No special rules. So yeah, let's roll that scenario die here, and that's a 3, so we are fine. We don't have to roll the threat die. I certainly take that. I think I will not search each and every corridor actually, because it really costs us an awful lot of time actually to do that, quite honestly. If we will find stuff in these rooms like chests and whatnot, yes, I will try to make them open. We will try to open them. And I think one thing I forgot, of course, we have to roll if something will happen here. I'm a little bit too quick here, so let's roll the scenario, not the scenario, the encounter die. It's still a corridor, which means 1 to 30. It's 39. Okay. This time we dodged the bullet. There is something of a timer. I think when you reveal 4 rooms in a row without any encounter, you will then increase the odds by 10% or so for the next one. So I will make a note on my character sheet, basically on the party sheet, so that I don't forget. Okay, I think in this case, let's start with Finnick again, the new round. So we are moving 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think we can move through this because nothing is blocking us here. Similarly here, 1. Wait a second, we can actually try to open that door here. So maybe let's do it slightly differently. We will start with Cedric. 1, 2, no. Doesn't matter. No, let's do that here, and let's try to open the door. So again, a d6 and a d10. And okay, 3 and 8. Okay, no trap, but the door is locked, which means we will have to increase that threat die. And I think that happens anyway. On a 12 already, we will see the wandering monster, right? Yeah, indeed. Okay, we can now bash the door open, but this would, I believe, increase the threat level even further by 2. Or we can try to pick the lock, which I think Finnick could do. He has 10 lock picks with him. The health points, because we rolled an 8 on this die for this door, is actually 15 health points. So we have to hit it pretty hard actually. And again, each bash will raise the threat level by 2. So I think that's not what we're going to do. The problem is with the lock picking, we have to take both of our actions in order to do that. But okay, maybe we will search the other room actually. I think we can do that maybe with the next round or so. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. We are moving him in. And I think we are moving these in basically twice. And keep in mind, when you're moving twice, the second move is only half of your movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think we want to leave her a little bit behind here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, but that's basically, we have forfeited the second action of him. He could have bashed as well, but let's not do that. We can still try to open that door more quietly. So let's roll the scenario die again for the next round. That's an 8. Again, we dodged that bullet here. No need to roll the threat die. I think we might as well roll the threat die as well, actually, together with that. Again, to speed things up. And I think, yeah, let's try Finnick again. He will now try to open that door with his lock-picking skill, which again is a 70, which pretty cool, but it's a -10. So again, we need to roll a 60, and on a fail, we will lose that lockpick. And 56, are you kidding me? Nicely done, Finnick. Way to go. It costs him both of his actions, but man, that's really great. We have opened this door. So I have done that here. Let's draw our next exploration card. It's another corridor. I really shuffled the heck out of this deck multiple times. Again, it's cool for him. Yeah, for Cedric. And what do we have? A short distance ahead is a bend in the corridor. Everything seems quiet apart from the sound of water droplets hitting the floor. Let me find that particular tile. And again, I will play things thematically so that the door is here. I think we want to move it in this direction. I have to readjust these things anyway. Let's roll for a potential encounter in this corridor. 1 to 30. No, we are good. I will mark it down that we haven't that we haven't encountered anything in that second room now in a row. But this also means that we will most likely encounter room after room afterwards. Hopefully these rooms are not getting too big. Actually, they're pretty massive tiles, but these might be all quest tiles actually. So I think I'm not going to move everyone else. I want to keep them together in case something terrible will happen. So we will again roll with Silvara. She will search the room now with both of her 2 action points. I mean, he had to spend 2 action points as well, but now because 3 heroes are searching, it's a +15 overall, which I think does help us. Perception, though, it's 68. Okay, let's see. 50, awesome. And then we search again on this table here, +10 because we are searching in a corridor. 17. Oh, again, we just missed it. 7. No, it's 7. 17, yeah, still 17. No, it's still a fine treasure. Wow, that is so amazing. So let's place that search token in. I believe we shuffle all of these treasure cards back in here actually, which I did. So we will have to do another cut, and we are drawing this card here, which is coins. Wow, this is really going exceptionally well. A nice pile of coins, all waiting to be spent. 1d100 plus 40 coins. Wow. So it's at least 41 coins. That's 2 nights in Rochdale, actually. Okay, I certainly take that. Where is my D100? Here it is. Ooh, boy. 32, 72 coins. Absolutely, I take it. And the game does actually come with these nice coins here. So that's 72 coins, and maybe I will use them in conjunction with this nice leather bag. I'm not sure what this is for, actually. I might have read that, but I think I will keep track of the party gold in here for now. So I think overall that's a pretty cool start. Nicely done. Okay, it's the next round, I believe. So let's roll that scenario die here. That's a 1. We are good. I think only on a 9 or 10 something will happen. So we will move Finnick 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces down here. And then again, yeah, he will try to open that door. So we know the drill. So it's that and that. It's a 4 and a 6, and I believe it's not trapped for sure. Only a 6 is trapped, but I believe the 6 means it's open. Indeed. Oh, I'm so much enjoying this. So we are placing an open door in here, actually. So this is, might come back. We will have to increase the threat level. I think we should be at 7. Hopefully I didn't forget that. At 12, the wandering monster will appear no matter what, actually. And then, yeah, of course, we have to see what we are finding here. Okay, what do we have? A fountain room with 2 doors. So we get to pick where we are moving to. Whatever was in this fountain, it is now dried up. Based on the state of the adventurer who came before you, drinking from it would have been a bad idea. Okay, we will have a look at the artwork in a second. The boxes and the dead adventurer can be searched. Oh, that is nice. So we can do a normal search of something, which typically only costs us 1 action point. Cool. Okay, I had to move everything up a little bit, and I decided to place the door down here southern of this room. So here is basically what you see. This is the dead adventurer. This is the fountain. We can search the dead adventurer and the boxes over here. I think not the statue, strangely enough. We still have to roll for an encounter. Now it's a room, so it's a 1 to 50 where something is happening. So let's see. And 92. No, I think we are actually good. Nothing is happening. I will have to note this down. I think this was already the 3rd room in a row where nothing did happen, or the 3rd tile. But I think that's still pretty cool. Okay then, his turn was done. He moved and he opened the door. Exactly. Then let's move Cedric. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In here, I believe it doesn't matter too much in which facing, but he might be able to search those crates. Or should we leave that actually to Finnick? But he needs to open that door, right? 5, 6. Let's move Cedric in here. So his zone of control is completely here. So I think we are good. But this was his 2nd action as well. And then it's Talindra. No, that's the ranger. That's Salvar. What am I talking about? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. And this is Talindra. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. Again, I think we can move diagonally. We can't move through doorways like this, I believe. But yeah, that's basically the end of that turn done. And I believe for today, I will call it. Might not be an extremely long video, but it was an extremely long recording session. I had to do a lot of reading in between, a lot of cross-checking some of the tables, and I might still have messed things up actually. I think we are not going to search this corridor here. We have stuff to search up here, but I think this will all be done in the next video, where I believe we might also be able to finish this chapter of this campaign. And yeah, I'm really excited, and I really hope it's somewhat fun for you to watch too. And yeah, before I forget, huge shout out to all of my patrons and channel members out there. You guys are truly amazing. Can't tell you how much I appreciate all your support. So if you want to support my little channel, you will find a link to my page on Patreon. You can join me directly here on YouTube. There's a thanks button below the video. You can reach out to PayPal to go for a donation. Simply like and subscribe, leave a comment. This also greatly helps the channel and it's highly appreciated. And yeah, I think, not sure if I will be able to record another session before the New Year's Eve. If not, or if we don't see each other, I wish you all a great start into 2025. Keep playing and hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.